Have you ever noticed something strange about yourself? When everything is going well, you sometimes feel distracted, restless, or even unmotivated. But the moment things start falling apart, you become a completely different person. While everyone around you is panicking, you stay focused. You think clearly, you solve problems. Somehow, you always find a way forward. People often say things like, "You're so calm under pressure," or "I don't know how you do it." But deep down, you know it doesn't feel like a special talent. It just happens naturally. What if this isn't luck? What if your brain has been trained to handle difficult situations in a way most people don't understand? Psychologists have started studying something called adaptive intelligence. It's the ability to adjust quickly when life becomes uncertain. Some people develop this skill after growing up in unpredictable environments or facing repeated challenges. This doesn't mean those experiences were good. Difficult times always leave a mark, but they can also teach the brain to solve problems differently. Today, we're calling this survivor's intelligence. Let's look at 10 signs that you might have it. Sign 1. You read a room within seconds. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt that something was off? Nobody had said a word. Nobody looked angry. But somehow, you already knew someone was upset. Maybe it was the silence. Maybe it was the way someone closed a door. Or maybe it was a tiny change in someone's facial expression. Whatever it was, your brain noticed it before you even realized it. Many people miss these small details. You don't. If you spent years around unpredictable situations, your brain learned to watch for early warning signs. Instead of waiting for conflict to happen, it started looking for clues before anything went wrong. That's why you often notice tension long before everyone else. Friends may think you're unusually observant. Sometimes they even ask, "How did you know something was wrong?" The truth is, you don't always know how. Your brain simply learned to recognize patterns that other people overlook. That awareness can be incredibly useful in everyday life. You often understand the mood of a meeting before anyone speaks. You can sense when a conversation is about to become uncomfortable. And you usually know when someone is hiding their real feelings. It's not magic. It's a skill your mind developed over time. Sign 2. You adapt faster than most people. Imagine this. You're about to give a presentation. 5 minutes before it starts, the projector stops working. Everyone else freezes. Some complain. Others start blaming the equipment. But you're already thinking about another solution. Maybe you'll use a whiteboard. Maybe you'll explain everything without slides. Maybe you'll move the meeting online. While others are focused on the problem, you're focused on the next step. This is one of the strongest signs of survivor's intelligence. You don't waste much time wishing things had gone differently. You accept reality quickly. Then you move forward. That doesn't mean you never feel disappointed. Of course you do. But you've learned that spending too much time thinking about what should have happened doesn't solve anything. Life taught you to adjust instead. People sometimes mistake this for being emotionally distant. It's actually the opposite. You've simply learned that when life changes suddenly, the fastest response is often the best response. Flexibility has become one of your greatest strengths. Sign 3. You become calmer during a crisis. Most people become overwhelmed when pressure increases. Their thoughts race. Their voices get louder. Their decisions become slower. But something different happens to you. The more serious the situation becomes, the calmer you appear. If there's an emergency, you're usually the person making phone calls, organizing people, and figuring out what needs to happen next. Later, when everything is over, that's when your emotions finally catch up. During the crisis itself, you're focused. It's almost as if your brain says, "We'll deal with feelings later. Right now, we need to solve this." Many people don't understand this. They think you're fearless. You're not. You feel stressed just like everyone else. The difference is that your mind has practiced working under pressure. If difficult situations were common earlier in your life, your brain learned that staying calm improved your chances of getting through them. Over time, that response became automatic. Today, when everyone else feels lost, your mind shifts into problem-solving mode. That's why people naturally look to you for leadership during difficult moments. Sign 4. You notice what people need before they ask. Have you ever brought someone a glass of water before they said they were thirsty? Or asked a friend if they were okay before they admitted something was wrong? Maybe you've noticed someone feeling left out in a group and included them without thinking twice. You seem to understand people's needs before they speak. This kind of awareness usually comes from years of paying close attention to others. If you grew up in an environment where emotions changed quickly, you probably learned to read people carefully. You watched their expressions, their tone of voice, their body language. You learned that noticing these details helped you avoid conflict or prepare for what might happen next. Even though your life may be different today, that habit never disappeared. Now it shows up in healthier ways. You're the friend everyone calls for advice. You're the coworker who notices when someone is struggling. You're often the first person to offer help because you've already seen the problem before anyone mentioned it. Your empathy isn't just kindness. It's observation combined with experience. And that's a rare combination. Sign 5, you can do more with less. Give you fewer resources than everyone else. And somehow, you'll still make things work. Maybe you've cooked an amazing meal with almost nothing in the fridge. Maybe you've solved expensive problems with simple solutions. Or maybe you finished projects that other people thought were impossible because there wasn't enough time or money. You don't immediately think about what you don't have. Instead, you ask, what can I do with what I already have? That's a very different mindset. Many people only know how to work when conditions are perfect. You learned how to succeed even when they weren't. Instead of seeing limits, you see possibilities. Instead of giving up, you become more creative. Hard times often force people to become resourceful. You learn how to reuse, how to improvise, how to find alternatives. These skills stay with you long after life becomes easier. That's why people are often surprised by your ability to solve problems without expensive tools, large teams, or perfect conditions. Your strength isn't having more. It's knowing how to use whatever is available. And that's a skill that can't be taught in a classroom. If those signs felt familiar, you may have developed abilities that most people never realize they have. Now let's explore the remaining 5 signs, and more importantly, learn how to use these strengths without letting them control your life. Sign 6, you remember the important details, not everything. Have you ever forgotten someone's birthday, but remembered the exact words they said during an argument 5 years ago? Or maybe you can't remember what you had for dinner last week, but you clearly remember how a room felt before something bad happened. If that sounds like you, your memory isn't weak. It's selective. Your brain has learned to store information differently. Instead of remembering everything equally, it gives priority to information that might protect you in the future. That's why you often remember changes in someone's tone of voice, small shifts in behavior, or tiny details that seemed unimportant to everyone else. Those details once helped you understand what was happening around you. Your brain decided they were worth keeping. Meanwhile, everyday information like names, dates, or small conversations may disappear much more quickly. People might joke that you have a bad memory, but in reality, your brain is simply organized around what it believes matters most. It focuses less on random facts and more on meaningful patterns. That isn't a flaw. It's a different way of processing information. Sign 7, you struggle to fully relax. Imagine something wonderful happens. You get promoted. You buy your dream home. Your relationship is going well. Everything finally seems peaceful. Most people would celebrate. But part of you quietly asks, what if something goes wrong? Instead of enjoying the moment completely, you start preparing for problems that haven't happened. You're always waiting for the next challenge, This doesn't mean you're negative. It usually means your brain has learned one important lesson from the past. Good times don't always last. If life has surprised you before, your mind naturally stays alert. It believes staying prepared is the safest option. The problem is, constant preparation can steal today's happiness. You become so focused on protecting tomorrow that you forget to enjoy today. This doesn't mean you should stop being careful. It simply means learning that not every peaceful moment is the beginning of another storm. Sometimes, life is actually okay, and it's okay to enjoy it. Sign 8, pressure brings out your best. Have you ever noticed that you work much better when the deadline is close? Give yourself 2 months to finish something, and you might keep putting it off. But give yourself 2 days, and suddenly you become incredibly productive. You learn quickly. You stay focused. You solve problems faster than you thought possible. People often call this procrastination, but sometimes it's something different. Your brain may simply perform better when the stakes feel real. If you grew up solving urgent problems, your mind became used to learning under pressure. It knows how to switch into high-performance mode. The challenge is that everyday life doesn't always provide that urgency. So your brain waits. Not because you're lazy, but because it doesn't recognize the situation as important enough yet. Understanding this can change everything. Instead of waiting for pressure to appear, you can create healthy deadlines. Break large projects into smaller goals. Set clear time limits. Give your brain a reason to focus before the last minute. That way, you use your natural strength without constantly living under stress. Sign 9, you easily adjust to different people. Think about how you act with different groups. You're one version of yourself at work, another around close friends, a different version with your family, and maybe another around strangers. Some people worry this makes them fake. It doesn't. It means you're adaptable. You learned early that different situations require different approaches. Some environments needed confidence. Others required silence. Some rewarded honesty. Others demanded caution. Over time, your brain became skilled at reading social situations and adjusting accordingly. You understand what kind of communication works best with different people. That's why you often get along with many personalities. You know when to speak, when to listen, when to lead, and when to step back. This flexibility can become an incredible leadership skill. Because great leaders don't treat everyone exactly the same. They understand that different people need different approaches. Your ability to adjust isn't pretending. It's emotional intelligence in action. Sign 10, you always have a backup plan. Whenever you enter a new place, you automatically notice where the exits are. When you start a new job, you quietly think about what you would do if it didn't work out. When you begin a relationship, part of you wonders how you would handle losing it. You rarely enter any situation without an escape plan. To some people, this seems overly cautious. But for you, it simply feels normal. Your brain likes knowing there are options. It feels safer when there's a plan B. Sometimes even a plan C. Planning ahead isn't necessarily a bad habit. In many situations, it's incredibly useful. The challenge comes when backup plans stop you from fully trusting good experiences. You deserve to enjoy the present, without constantly preparing for every possible ending. A backup plan should bring confidence, not fear. There's an important difference. The hidden cost of survivor's intelligence. Now here's something most people never talk about. These skills helped you survive difficult times, but they can also become exhausting when life finally becomes peaceful. You may feel strangely uncomfortable. Instead of relaxing, you start looking for something to fix. You take on extra work. You worry about problems that don't exist yet. Sometimes you even create unnecessary stress because being busy feels familiar. It's not because you enjoy chaos. is because your brain learned that chaos was the time to perform. Calmness feels unfamiliar, almost suspicious. That's one of the biggest challenges people with survivor's intelligence face. They know how to survive difficult lives, but they have to learn how to enjoy peaceful ones. How to use these strengths in a healthy way. The goal isn't to change who you are. These abilities are part of you. They've helped you overcome situations that many people couldn't imagine. Instead of trying to get rid of them, learn how to guide them. First, choose meaningful challenges. Your brain enjoys solving important problems, so give it healthy ones. Learn a new skill. Start a business. Volunteer. Take on projects that truly matter. Use your strengths with purpose instead of waiting for life to create another crisis. Second, practice being comfortable with peace. This may sound simple, but it isn't. If you're always solving problems, sitting quietly can feel uncomfortable. Start small. Spend time without checking your phone. Take a walk without planning tomorrow. Enjoy an evening without trying to fix everything. At first, your mind may resist. That's okay. Like any skill, peace becomes easier with practice. Third, separate the present from the past. Whenever you feel yourself expecting the worst, pause for a moment. Ask yourself one simple question. Is this danger happening right now, or is my past teaching me to expect it? Sometimes your instincts will be right. Trust them. But other times, you'll realize your brain is reacting to an old experience rather than the current situation. That awareness gives you a choice. Instead of reacting automatically, you respond thoughtfully. And that's where real growth begins. Your greatest strength. Here's something important to remember. The qualities that once protected you can become the qualities that inspire others. Your calmness can become leadership. Your awareness can become wisdom. Your adaptability can become confidence. Your ability to solve problems can help families, businesses, communities, and the people who depend on you. The goal isn't to stop being a survivor. The goal is to become someone who builds a life instead of constantly preparing to defend one. You don't have to stay in survival mode forever. You can use everything you've learned to create something better. A peaceful life doesn't erase your strength. It gives your strength a new purpose. Final thoughts. If you recognized yourself in many of these signs, remember this. Your experiences may have shaped you, but they do not define your future. The skills you developed are real. They've helped you overcome challenges, adapt to change, and keep moving forward when life became difficult. Now it's time to use those same skills for something even greater. Not just surviving, but living. Not just getting through each day, but enjoying it. And perhaps that's the greatest form of intelligence of all. If you found yourself in today's video, let us know in the comments. Which sign described you best? Your story might help someone else realize they're not alone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more psychology and self-growth content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.